Hey guys, so I have an arc calculator that I kind of made. It's a simplified version of stuff like in GitHub, but it's just simplified and it's all on one page, so you don't have to look around for great buildings, levels, or make sure you're on the right rate. By default, it's at 1.9, and I want to see if you guys wanted to test it out. So I'll just run through some of this stuff. The main stuff is on top. This will be position locking, so you can lock someone in or lock your own, find out info on how to lock your own great building for someone else. Also, in the advanced options, you have settings you can input so that you can find out if you can lock someone in your GB if there's already someone kind of in there, like a contender, a rival. And then if you can also use that same info, I mean, not that exact same info, but you can use that same feature if you wanted to snipe, say, somebody in the neighborhood, or snipe a great building someone else has. So if you wanted to use that, you can use that as well. And then in the bottom section, it just tells you the basic info, of what the reward amounts you'll be getting, such as your forge points amount. If the arc has 50, let's say a great building, doesn't matter which one, is paying you for that position 50 FPS forge points as a base reward, and you have a 1.9 arc, you can find out and it'll tell you it's 95. It's just giving you example. Numbers can be higher or lower, whatever. But say you're someone who doesn't have an arc whose levels 80 is at level 80, or it's less, or it can be higher. You can set it up to, like, let's say if it's higher, you will put 1.95. If it was a 95 bonus arc, you can hit submit and it'll tell you you'll get 98. If you have, let's say, a level 10, which is 33 bonus, it will be 1.33 and you'll get 67 forge points. It all really depends on your bonus. It does the same for your blueprint or metal amount if you wanted to know. And so let me show you a few examples. So if we're here on my neighborhood, and I have kind of done this to this guy already, where I checked out some spots and whatnot. Let me pick someone else instead. That's just an example. So did I pick this guy already? Okay, so his Kraken is at level 10. Okay, so in the first slot right here, we enter the amount that it takes for the GB to level up, which is 1,189. And then the default reward, default FPS rewards, which is for the position you're going for. So if it's first, second, and third, you enter the base amount. You don't enter the amount that you get with your arc bonus. So if this one is 135 forge points. Okay. And by default, it's set to 1.9, but you can change that if you need to find out if you need to. So you can change that in there as well. Okay. And so let's say, assuming uh, there was this first and second guy weren't in there. Okay, it's just the guy dropped 222 forge points, and we type in the amount 222, and we hit submit. It'll tell me like this position is secureable, lockable when the GB reaches 675 forge points. So I know that you know at this at this amount, without anybody being on first or second, I'll have to kind of keep an eye out till it reaches 675 total points. Okay, right now it's at 432. Oh, actually, my bad. I put the wrong info in there. It says 432. That's supposed to be the total amount. Okay, and submit. And so yeah, it's still supposed to be at 675 forge points. Okay, so now that we put this amount on 432, then we can actually go ahead and input what this guy first place is 200. He has 200 in there. He's our opponent for the position we're going for at this default base amount. If we hit submit, it'll tell me I can drop 479 forge points to take this spot but I'll lose 221 forge points. So I can take first if I wanted, let's say if I really needed the blueprints or the metal, etc. I can take that spot. It's just gonna cost me this much, and this much will lock him out. You know, so the calculator, the way I've written it, it's so that it can tell you how many forge points you can lock someone out, and then it'll tell you if you're losing or gaining forge points in that process. On the rival section, the opponent section. So okay, so it's not there. Pretty much none of this is there because the full amount is, that's still too much, 221. So I would have to wait 221 more points, forge points, in order for me to like maybe possibly break even. So let me hit reset and let's close this one. Let's try someone else. Okay, let's go this person. All right, so they have an arc. Arc is popular. Total amount on it is 3681. The default is the position we're gonna go for. So let's just check out third. It's 175 forge points. The current total on it is 3323, and the amount the person has is 547. Okay, so it has 547, 3,323. It's our, and we hit submit. See, the opponent has secured this position. So basically, there's no way to pass him up. No way. Okay, so let's do the next spot, fourth, which is 45 forge points. There's no one in there, so we'll remove that. And it says position is secureable when it reaches 3,509. It's at 3,323. So it's not there. Obviously, it's not there, so I can move on. But at least I know. Okay, so let's say it was at 3,509. If I input that, then it will tell me I have to drop 86 forge points, and we'll just be breaking even. So if we want to find out our 1.9 rate for 45, we do that, and we can find out it's 86 forge points. So we're basically just getting exactly what we're dropping in. We're gonna be dropping in, and you'll get that same amount. Okay, so let's see if we can find. Oh, it was her. Higher end players kind of, secure their position better. No one usually gets sniped. Obviously, this guy, I can just tell you, dropped half, exactly half. But let's check out the position for second place, 2,400, and the default for second is 330. Okay, current total is 1,200, and there's no one for that position. So it says I can secure this position with 600 forge points and make 27 profits. 27 forge points as profit. So if we do 330 and find out what our rate is at 1.9, it's 627. So yeah, you can lock yourself in and still make some profit, which I will want to do. So I'll do 600, and boom, and that leaves 600 out there. Now someone who has third will have 110 forge points, and the amount will be 1,800. Submit. It's not lockable until we reach 1,982. So yeah. So say you were the GB owner. Say I was this person, and I was like, you know what? I want to lock it in for my buddy, for third, or a friend, or just a new guy I just met, whatever. I did that. I hit submit. You don't have to fill this area out, and I'll tell you right here, hey, you need a total of 1,982, which is the same over there. It's just one less thing to fill out. Boom. You input it, and you do the math. How many more? I can write the code to actually tell you how many more to drop in there. So this area for now, just for the owner, the GB owner has to drop 982, blah blah blah, to lock first and second. This is mostly just for first and second position. I haven't fully worked this one out yet. I might just end up removing it, since you can get the same information just without checking it. It's just wording really for now. Okay, so moving on. Let's do it on my one of my great buildings. Okay, so right here, total for this great building is 5892, and for first place it is 1320. That's the base reward. If I hit submit, it says I need to drop 800. I need to have a total of 876, and that's what it'll need to lock first place for that base reward. No, at 1.9. If I was to change it to, like, let's say I want someone to drop 1.95, then I have to hit submit, and it'll be 744. So it's much more or less because they're putting in more. And it's just basically how this works. You don't have to look up great building names, levels, and and don't get me wrong, it's just a simplified version so that you can use it kind of like faster. You don't have to go GB, looking, hunting and finding out, on GitHub. GitHub has a really beautiful, nice tool. I still use it, don't get me wrong, but this is like a simplified version. If you have buddies who are new to the game and are new to the whole arc calculator system, the arc rate, the 1.9 or whatever rate you want to do with your buddies, you can go ahead and do it here. It's a simple, just basic tools that you need. You get straight to the point. It goes per position, so you're not, whatever the default rate is, default forge point is, you don't go ahead and find out what's before it or after it. That's just too much extra stuff that I probably don't need, and I pretty much just created this calculator because, yeah, I got tired of searching for great buildings, and I was needing to lock people in, or I was curious to know about how many forge points to drop and lock someone else in, or snipe somebody. I was curious to know, so I created this for that purpose, and I'm extending this invite to you guys. Let's see if you guys want to try it out. If you run into some issues, problems, or just some undesired results, or results that are just weird, like you'll hit something and nothing will come up, nothing will tell you there, feel free to uh, write to me on YouTube in the comments, and just put in the info like, hey, I wrote this much for this, for the total GB, and I wrote this much for the base reward, and I had put this, and this is what I got. Even if you find a issue here where you put a certain amount, then yeah. Of course, this is still kind of like in beta. It's not fully out there, like, cleanly. And I'm a beginner, just so we're clear. I'm a beginner on like the scripting part aside, but this just seemed like basic, simple math, and most of the code is based on situations. Like if, for example, like if let's say the total amount was 300 to flip a GV, and it paid out 10, and then you decide to just like accidentally type in, like, say 50, 500, 500. Obviously, the total amount is greater than what you'll flip. So when you hit submit, it will tell you amount cannot be greater than 300, obviously. So there's certain things that I've kind of already covered. But if you run into situation or whatever, feel free to let me know, and I'll try and just make sure you give me the data info that you input, because then I can go ahead and find a situation, try and find a solution for that situation. All right, thank you.